Thank you for joining us. Welcome. Rav Laitman, hello. We're in the show. We take one term from the wisdom of Kabbalah and we try to explain it in the most simple way and that touches the person's heart. And today's topic is the thought of creation. But beforehand, I would like to share some with you, Rav Laitman. I really like nature. If I'm in nature where there's not a lot of electricity and lighting and I'm looking at the sky at night, I can really feel as if the nature is breathing, it's talking. And it's even if I'm at the beach, even if I'm looking at the waves of the beach, or even if it's a thorn on the garden. And if you come off the craziness of life and you look at nature, you feel like there is a thought behind the whole of the universe. What do you feel when you're in nature? Love. Yes, you can say that. That really, if we look at nature, we can see as much as how whole it is. That it's connected with all its parts. What extent it is outstanding. Even though to the wisdom of Kabbalah, it's not necessarily that way. Because what we study in the wisdom of Kabbalah, what we deduct from the wisdom of Kabbalah, it turns out that we live in attaining a very limited nature. And besides what we feel, we have something that we can't feel yet in our senses, in sight, hearing, taste, and feeling. Outside of that, nature has a lot more that it can offer us and show us. However, we cannot attain that. Oren, how come? Love, because we're limited in our perception, in our ability to perceive it. What can I see in my eye? I'm limited with my hearing, my taste, my feeling with the hands. Very little, very limited. And from that we only have a very limited perspective where we are. 90% of our vision, maybe 7% of hearing, and the rest is taste and smell, which is internal, and then feeling with the fingers. That's all. All in all, we're very limited. We perceive from what's around us only a small percentage. And we're not even sure that it's true and whole, and never mind. We're still very impressed by it, and it's a good thing. But alongside with it, we need to see how we are impressed by very little things, very limited things. Just like a baby who is, something opens up to him, he all of a sudden very impressed. It catches him, and he's alive. So, Owen, you're saying there's a lot that we don't perceive, love. Times infinity. There's so much more. And it's because we lack the senses to perceive it. Because we don't have the senses to feel it. Owen, all this space, this vastness that we don't perceive, does it has to do with what we're talking about today, the thought of creation? Love, yes. Also, yes. Yes, the thought of creation includes in it everything. This thought, what the Creator wants to show us, is so much more than what we can reveal in our senses and even beyond our senses. This is Owen. This is very curious. I really want to take it step by step. Let's start with the phrase, the thought of creation. Let's begin with the thought. What does it mean, the thought? Is that a thought like we have now in our head? Well, no, it's the thought of creation is the thought of the Creator. That means his intention. Why is he creating the universe, not our universe, way more than our universe? Times, I can't even tell you how many more. It's all sorts of excesses that you could go into investigating. It's not vision or hearing. It's thousands of senses that he creates the reality in order for us to attain this reality. And when we attain it, we will understand how much the Creator is good and benevolent to us. So first thing, the thought is the thought of the Creator. So why do we say the combination of words, the thought of creation? Is that the thought of the creation? Well, yes. That's first thing, there was a thought. And then according to this thought, to this intention, to this plan, then he created everything. Oren. Who does he think about? Love. He thinks about Oren. What are you laughing about? Are you laughing about me, him, or yourself? Oren. No. I'm excited. God thought about me? Love. Of course. You can be sure of that. Before he created everything, he thought of you and about everyone. Even you were there, and you existed there, and later on, after a few actions, you came to fruition. Owen, what did he think about me? Owen, that you're going to be smart, and that you would want to attain him, to perceive him, to know him. And it truly came out that way. Owen, I really want to. Love. Yes, that's it. That's because he thought about you. That's how it came out. Oh, and did he think about you as well? Yes, I think so. Otherwise, it wouldn't have come out. Did he think about everyone? Yes, he thought about each and every one. You can be sure of that, because he thought about everyone, and this is how it came out. Oh, and did he think about the animate, the vegetative? About everything. Oh, in one thought or many thoughts? In one thought, everything was created. And within it, everything is included. Owen, behind all of creation, behind it, is there a thought, or is there also a feeling or emotion there? Love. You could say that even there's a feeling included there. Owen, which feeling? Owen, love. Owen, towards who? Towards the creation that he's about to create. Owen, so out of the love he created everything? Love, yes. This is his feeling. This is his pressure. This is his urges. He wants to express his love because this is his nature. Owen, so before he started creating everything, there's love and there's thought? Love, yes. There is a thought because of the love. Owen, which thought? Owen, Rav. Rav. He wanted to create the created beings because he loved them. Owen, so what was before the thought? Rav, the creator because before him nothing was existed. Owen, what was included in that thought? Love. In that thought, he wanted to bring good to the creations, and then he had to create the creations in order to bring him his goodness. Oh, and I want to give you an example. I have 4 kids. They're all grown up, some of them in the army, some of them are outside home. I am constantly thinking about them, that I want them to be good, that they'll be good, and they'll be healthy, and no one would want to harm them. And I have a lot of thoughts about them. Is that the way the Creator thinks about me? Love, more than that. Oh, and what do you mean? Love. Because he wants to bring you to the whole state, to the most completed state, to the highest state, as much as possible. Oren, And that's his only thought? Rav, yes. And it is upon each and every one and all of us together. Oren, so how can it be that it's such a thought that it's spread out to so many pieces? Rav, this is what's written, that in one thought I've created everything. Oh, and in one thought? Rav, yes. How can it be? Rav, because that's how he created things. From everything that's created, he wanted to bring it good, and it all was created out of that one thought. He created everything out of that single thought. Oren, from that single thought, after that single thought, is there infinite actions that he makes in order to create this? Rav, no. This thought creates everything. It starts and finishes everything. Oh, and what does it mean, Rav? That you don't need anything besides that thought. And we are existing in that thought, and this thought acts upon us and brings us to that state where the Creator initially decided. Owen, does the Creator wants us to be good, to have the good in a specific way or in a general way? Love, in a specific way, He wants each one of us to enjoy, and He wants it from Himself, that we will enjoy from Himself. Because besides Himself, there is nothing. What can be better than Him, that's so completed, that can develop and fill us? Oh, and what does it mean to enjoy the Creator? Love. To enjoy from the Creator, meaning to enjoy from the perfection of creation. I can see you are... Oh, and yes, I'm very very curious about that. I know something good that you eat, something good that you travel in nature and enjoy it. What does it mean to enjoy the Creator? Love. To enjoy the Creator is to enjoy everything. The fact that you want to enjoy this little thing or that little thing, that's nothing. But He wants to give us the pleasure from infinity, out of everything, the joy of everything. And that's just from Him. Can only be from Him. Oh, and I want to ask something which is a bit unpleasant. No, you have to understand, I may not have the right words, but let's try. Let's hope. Oh, and I've got a question which is, if the thought of creation is the result of love of the Creator, that's what you said, He has that feeling of love, that He wants to bring good to anything. And He wants to bring me to the best state ever. So how come our world is filled with suffering and bad? Love, we are already in the good state. Oh, and who? Love, all of us. As the Creator decided what He wants to be, everything was made. Oh, and so what? Love, what? Oh, and I don't, Love, you don't feel. Oh, and I feel with mess, with craziness. Love, this is what He made, that you don't feel it that way. That's what they call that you have the desired state and the realistic state. We want to get to that state where you feel exactly like Him, which is completed in a way that we can't even describe. That's on one hand. And on the other hand, we've got the reality, where you're sitting like that and, I can't, life is gray, it says. No, non-stop problems from morning to dawn. It's just, from morning to dusk, sorry. It's just full of problems. Rav. So that's why we need, that we are obligated by His thought to resolve ourselves from feeling bad, from just dragging ourselves from the bad to feeling good. Oh, and in what does that depend? Rav, in that we will change our perception, and we will feel that we are in a world that is all good, infinite, with infinite feeling, that we feel nothing bad, and we will just, so much so, we'll live in good that we can't describe it. However, the whole thing is that we are, as creations, we can't feel one thing. We have to feel something against the other. The advantage of light is from the darkness, sweetness from bitterness, and so forth. Therefore, we need to see things in a straight and opposite way, in order to enjoy all of creation in a complete way, in a true complete way. And therefore, even though the Creator wants us to discover all the goodness of creation, however, we need to approach it and taste this goodness through the opposite states that are bitter, sour, and so forth. By the way, this is how our life, we use this in our life. We use spices like salt and pepper, because without it, we can't appreciate the food itself. Oren, so how do I the gray, the black, the bitter, the tough, the suffering I know, how from that do I approach the thought, the upper thought that is all good, that wants to bring me to good, to completeness, to wholeness, to perfection? How do I from the incomplete come to the complete that you talked about? Love, if you tie these things to the Creator, that He has created and stabilized it for you, then you will start to understand and feel alongside with these tastes, the delicatesse, the divine delicatesse, that nothing you've tasted before. Only on the condition that you tie whatever you feel to the Creator. Oh, and everything? Love, everything in your life, without any exceptions, and without leaving this thought for 1 second. Oh, and so what do I need to think about? Love, what do I need to think about? That everything that you feel comes from the Creator. Only from Him it came to you. And it's designed only for you. And what you need is to think that what you feel in each moment is that you feel the Creator Himself. I heard in one of your lectures that you say a different term. It's called the purpose of creation. Is there any relation between the thought of creation and the purpose of creation? Well, yes, the thought of creation came from the Creator, and you need, according to this thought, to advance until you feel the entire creation, that it is for you, for your benefit, that it is wrapping you, you're immersed in it entirely. And the goal of creation is to bring you to the best state ever. And the thought of creation is the thought of the Creator about each and every one of the creations, in every detail and everything they have, in order for them to understand and feel that everything that happens to them at each moment is eventually in order for them to develop, in order to feel the purpose of creation completely. As the infinite pleasure, as the infinite knowledge and feeling to each and every one. Oh, and I want to take the word development that you just said and tie it to something very interesting you said at the beginning of our conversation. You said that what I feel in nature today is a crumb, a tiny bit of the infinity that our perception cannot attain. This development that you talk about now, what exactly do I need to develop in order to feel all this love and this greatness that it's out there? What exactly do I need to develop in me? Love. The sense of the bad, of feeling the bad, of acknowledging the bad. That there is good, which is the Creator, and there is bad, which is the Creator's opposite. In order for you to know the Creator created the bad, which is the opposite of Him. In order for you to acknowledge Him, because without the other, the one, you can't feel the other, because this is why He created that. Because if He is love and devotion and dedication that comes out of Him towards the creation, so in order to help the creation feel this, then He needs to establish an opposite sense, and that's called egoism. And that's why each one of us has it from birth, and we develop this attribute and we grow it in our life for so and so years. And later on, there comes a time where we begin to convert our ego to something good, and we start to feel that we can't consider it, that we can't continue with it in our life because we see how it's destroying our lives, and then we start to look for how to get rid of it. And then we come to a state where there is a system or a method that it's explaining to us that we can receive the attributes of the Creator, and according to these attributes, we come to a state where we can receive only good in life. And this wisdom is called the wisdom of Kabbalah. How to receive the goodness that the Creator have given us. Oh, and so the purpose of the bad is for us to discover it as bad. This is this development, and the ego, what's bad in it is that it's opposite to the love from the Creator? Love, yes. Oh, and so to recognize that I have ego and bad, it seems to me as if it's something basic. Love, yes. Oh, and what's the next stage of development? Love, just to feel that the entire universe, all of life, all of it is only good. And it's good because the Creator feels it, and He wants you to come and feel it exactly like He does. Oren, to come, meaning to develop attributes like His, love, yes. Oren, so I don't need to go somewhere without going anywhere. Love, no, you're not going anywhere, you're not flying anywhere. Owen, so what is it? Love, it's to open your feeling to the love of the Creator. Owen, what does it mean? Love, that what you couldn't feel before, now you can. Owen, does that mean I have to come from love? Love, you need to be like Him. Owen, so I need to be from love? Love, yes. Owen, towards who? Love, towards everyone. Love, you forgot about the beginning. You were saying how much you love your kids. Oh, and so focus me. I need to develop now love. Love, no, you need to develop it. I didn't just say it. You need to come to a state where you love everyone. Everyone. All the people in the world. Each and everyone. And then you'll come to that state where you find Creator. Before that thought that He begins everything. So what is the condition to discover the thought of creation? To love everyone. How do we reach that state where everyone, how would it affect us that everyone acknowledge the thought of creation? Rav, imagine to yourself that everyone wants to love everyone. Can you imagine what world would it be? First, it would be the world where everyone loves to be in. Second, that everyone wants to help and feel everyone else. And that's it. The world which is all good. Oh, and soon our time would finish, sadly. Give me the final definition. The thought of creation, what is it, Rav? To bring good to everyone. Oh, and what do you wish for me in the development on the way to the thought of creation? Love. To love everyone. Except your kids, everyone. Oh, and last question before we closing. Rav, I see you thought and I see you think and hesitate. Rav, Oren, you said that what you saw in nature is great, but it's only a tiny speck, and that there is infinity. How do I feel all of that? Rav, there's no problem. If you open your heart, you will feel thousands, infinity of worlds. And I can't say there's no number for the created beings, that they are all connected with each other and with everything. And they are in that force that's called Creator. That from Him we came out, and to Him we will return. Oren, what thought do we look for in this process? Love, just love. It includes everything. Oren, this is charming, Rav Laitman. Rav, I wish to you to come to this feeling and to tell us all. Thank you so much. Oren, thank you. And thank you all for being with us. Have a good day.